Today we will do something very interactive because our topic is interactive teaching and learning. And today we have a very experienced interviewer and he will ask some questions now.
Yeah. So, let me just, we will cut it. Yes. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Igor. You can call me Mr. Paul, and today I will be your interviewer. So what we are gathering today is different, ideas about teaching, about methods, interactive methods that allow students to be themselves and to use all their skills. And we have prepared some short questions for this interview. So as an interviewer, I will right now ask a question, and then I will take a role of somebody who is interviewed, like say a teacher, and how I will answer those questions. So the first question will be, do you have a specific activity you find effective in your class? So now I will switch back to this role, to the role of someone who is being interviewed, right? Well, I have one very nice activity that I often use. It is called, actually, it has not like any specific name or whatever, but I like to call it the Students' Initiative. Does it have any specific name or whatever? Yes, it does have a specific name. I call it different names, but I like to call it like Student Initiative because it's something that provokes the students to work themselves rather than rely on somebody else. And basically, it's about taking the role of a teacher in the teaching process. The third question states, could you please briefly describe how you do it with your students? What is the procedure itself? Well, the procedure may differ a little bit, but it is aimed to let students know what it is like to be a teacher, because later they will all teach somebody else. So we usually start with me offering some task, let's say reading passage. So the students then try to read it. They may read it silently or maybe one by one, so that everybody follows the lead. And then after we do this, I offer them to make their own activities based on the text. So this is the third step. Students may do it in pairs or individually. They choose a paragraph and they make an activity for it. It may be a true or false question, or maybe fill in the gaps exercise, some vocabulary exercises probably, or maybe matching paragraphs that is available if it's available. So that's what we do, and then everybody, yes, tries to say what they have come up with. And other students, they try to take part answering those questions. And the last question is, why do you think it's so effective in your class? Well, I think that it is effective just because instead of relying on what is already given, the students themselves can attempt to create the same activities. And I think it helps them in long term because they understand the structure of those activities better themselves if they try doing this. And also it prepares them as future teachers for their own methods. By developing exercises themselves and trying them, they may be different, they may be easier, but they practice them. So in the process of practice, they get closer to the text, to the reading passage, for example. And also they get closer to how it is to teach. They know better from doing this. And that's why I find this effective, and students usually enjoy it because it's more entertaining than just to sit and do the stuff which is already given. So that's it. Thank you. So right now, Mrs. Eßwein will ask me a few questions about my teaching experience, and I'm very excited to answer them.
Thank you. What effective methods or approaches do you use in teaching English, Mr. Porubay?
Well, I do use a lot of different ideas, and I usually sometimes come up with my own. And I think that this is one of those good methods because I kind of feel the class, I feel the atmosphere, and I try to create certain activities, certain things, especially for this or that group individually. And one of those methods that I always use, I think, is peer assessment. I guess that peer assessment is great just because it allows students to get a little bit closer to each other. They understand that they are not just friends, they also help each other in studies. And I try to make it fun and friendly, and at the same time honest and objective. So when they give the feedback to each other, for example, in writing, I always say to my students, you need to take a look at not only the maybe like shortcomings of somebody's writing, but also the pluses that you saw, because this is very supportive. And first thing that we need to do, all of us, is support each other in our academic life. So yeah, and I also use a lot of activities that I come up with myself, and one of them I've told you already. I sometimes let the students do their own tasks for teaching material. It's usually authentic material, or maybe material taken from a textbook, but most of the time authentic. I encourage students to make their own exercises and activities for this or that passage, or for this or that video, or whatever else. And they really enjoy it because they have an opportunity to try how to do this. They try this methodological part. Maybe it's easier, maybe it's less complicated, but they have this practice. And after that, I have noticed that they are better at working with such activities themselves, because they tried it on their own, and they gain some experience, like an insight in that, rather than just doing this. So yeah, and also the third activity that I really like is, when it comes to, let's say, listening. When it comes to listening, besides using listening activities that are given, I create listening activities, but they are not listening activities only. They are like watching activities. So I find a very good and nice and comprehensible and useful like excerpt from a video. It can be an interview or TV program or a film. It's part of the film. And if it fits the topic of our lesson, I encourage students to watch them. And then I create certain exercises for those, videos that develop vocabulary, critical thinking, listening, and, like listening. What else? Maybe some other skills. So, and they like it because sometimes the video is familiar to them, and they can relate to it more. So, it's a very enjoyable process.
Thank you very much for your detailed answer.
My pleasure. Mrs. Eßwein, so I have a question. What do you think is the most important aspect in teaching in, let's say, in high schools or at university? What is the most important aspect today for teachers to pay attention to?
The most important aspect is, for me, taking in modern approaches.
Okay.
Why that? They are more effective. And one very effective way is doing that interactional teaching. Because the active participation of students is a joyful and very effective way of learning. That is my short answer.
Okay,
Thank you very
so
much.
Welcome. And may I ask one more question?
Feel free to do so.
Okay, so what do you think students today, this new generation students, and let's say when you were studying yourself, right? So what is the main difference between new generation students and previous generation, in your opinion? Yeah.
The new generation knows where to go to. They want to work, they want to study, they want to have a place in this society. And they know if they are not competent in their fields, they will be lost behind anywhere. So it's important for us teachers to give them the tools to do well in their studies. And why not giving them the most effective tools?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the teacher is somebody who guides the students in this, gives them proper stimulation, Yeah,
to make it simple and short, a teacher is a kind of guide at the side of the students. In former times, you asked me in former time about former times, it was a kind of sage on the stage, a performer.
Oh, okay.
But what is the use of performing if you can't reach your students?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the main goal, right?
Yes.
Okay, Mrs. Eßwein, thank you so much for your time. It was really great pleasure to have a conversation about teaching, about exchanging ideas. Yeah. So thank you very much and good luck in everything that you do.
Thank you very much.
Anytime,
And
anytime.
good luck for you
Oh,
too.
thank you. Yeah, I'll try to do my best. Yeah. Okay.